Welcome to the Safeguarding and Domestic Abuse sector, for professionals working in the world of safeguarding and domestic abuse, and for anyone who believes in harnessing the power of sector-led learning and improvement. The conversation unfolds week by week, season by season. In this space, expect to hear me talk about this work which has the ability to change lives, alongside having powerful conversations with those who are taking action and can inspire us on our learning and improvement journey. This is the Safeguarding and Domestic Abuse sector. Okay, I have got a topic for you today that arises in many reviews and has been arising in my reviews lately. So when a person's first language is not English, a professional interpreter must be used for the purposes of assessment, discharge, care planning, even routine inquiry. Well, and especially routine inquiry. So use of family and friends can lead to a lack of understanding, misinterpretation, confidentiality breaches, behind-the-scenes coercion, and using applications such as Google Translate, for example, can lead to inaccuracy or poor quality translation, which misses the nuance and therefore does not offer a trauma-informed approach. And for example, if we're in a health setting, every patient or indeed any service user deserves to have detailed and accurate recording about their communication needs, and that should include their preferred spoken language, which should include dialect, their preferred written language, and whether they require an interpreter, whether they deem themselves as needing an interpreter. Let's take an example. I'm going to take NHS England guidance, but this is across services who support, or we're talking about vulnerable people in our context, aren't we? But NHS England guidance states that if a patient declines the offer of a professional interpreter, this decision should be recorded in their notes. So staff should only proceed if they are confident they can provide safe and effective care. And this must be confirmed with the patient independently without their friend or family member present. And it also applies to asking routine inquiry questions about a person's experience of domestic abuse. And let's remember that a victim of domestic abuse might see his or her experience of abuse as demonstrating their weakness, or as a private matter that should be handled within the family, or even as something that has been provoked by the victim themselves. And domestic abuse services often reflect that where English is not the first language for a person, he or she may not really want or understand the support on offer from their service. And a person's prior experience of community might be one where the help and the support they receive in the UK is just not mirrored in their own country. And what that can give rise to is a level of suspicion that, if a government agency steps in, this is punitive rather than supportive. So to bundle all of that up, there absolutely is a need for interpreters with specialist domestic abuse knowledge, as the nuance in language and dialect, in addition to how the victim might perceive their abuse, requires intuitive work to engage them. So if a person feels that abuse is a commonplace occurrence and that very little is done about it, or they lack confidence in agencies to help them, they are greatly disadvantaged in terms of having a real chance of accessing the support they need with a language barrier in the way.
Thank you for joining me for this bite-sized episode designed to update you with the latest thinking and developments in learning and improvement work in the safeguarding and domestic abuse sector. If you're interested in independent review work, which has the power to improve the lives of vulnerable people, join me for my on-demand webinar, How to Establish an Independent Review Practice which aligns with the next steps in your career. You can find the link in the show notes.